Live from the Toad Hop Network studios
in Hollywood.
This
is the ToadHopNetwork.com.
A place of our own without a lot of parents peering down our backs.
radio worth watching.
And here we go. Hello, Schmoville. That's right. It's the Schmoes Know podcast. A little bit of a vibe, but still a very fun, great one. Mark Ellis is out of here. He's in Jacksonville.
Why do you always have to be so rude when Mark is gone?
Yeah. Why? What'd I do?
Mark's gone.
He's out of here. No, Mark. I talked to Mark before the show started. Mark Ellis is in Jacksonville, and you can go catch him at, I don't know, where's he at? Jacksonville at the Ha Ha Hole. No?
How many comedy clubs are in Jacksonville?
Yeah, the one go to the comedy club in Jacksonville. That's where he is, the one comedy club. All right, guys, it's the Schmoes Know podcast. A lot of great stuff happening today. Joined, as always, is the lovely, the very funny Ken Napzok.
Hi, honey.
Tiffany Smith.
The joke that never gets old.
Tiffany Smith, how are you?
I'm good.
Very good. Now, now Mark Ellis is not here.
He is not here.
We have a different co-host today.
We do.
Navid Mcilahrgey, good buddy of Schmoes Know, the president of Film Engine. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, man. We had breakfast this morning. We chatted over eggs about the news stories we were going to talk
about.
I had
oatmeal.
You had oatmeal. I had eggs.
I'm being healthy.
Here's what we got tonight for you guys. First of all, you guys know you tweet in at Schmoes Know and hashtag everything Schmoes Know podcast. And here's what we got. We got a bunch of news stories we're going to talk about. We have El Mayambe's going to call in. He had a big scoop about Star Wars and the Emperor. We're going to talk about that. 8:39 is really cool. We have the writer of The Butler, Danny Strong, who's also going to be writing Mockingjay. We're going to talk to him. And then 9 o'clock, our buddy DJ Goldberg comes in. He's a TV executive over at McGee's company, Wonderland. And then from 9:30 to 10, we're going to do What's the Pitch? So that's going to be a lot of fun as well. So I'm very excited.
Go picture.
Yeah, we're going to have fun with that one too, because we're going to have DJ and Navid tell whether or not we're going to be able to greenlight the picture. So that's the show. Now look, here's something that I want everyone to know. First of all, we're going to get into the news in a second. But whenever there's Schmoes Know drama, we talk about it on this show.
I get really nervous when you start saying this stuff because I don't get prepped before the show.
No, you can't.
And so
that's the point.
He starts shifting his body towards me, and I'm like, oh crap.
No, I want you to be involved in this because you're dressed very girl next door today, and it actually
as opposed to any other day in her life.
Sometimes she'll come in, it'll be geeky, and sometimes she can be the sexy. Today it's the
she's wearing short shorts.
She always looks like
almost spit my tea into the microphone.
I said the sexy, but it is. It's look. You can have different looks, and today it's perfect. You have the girl next door look, and there's a reason why I'm excited for this because now look, there is a show that if you go to ToadHopNetwork.com and on that side you see the Napzok files. I listen to Ken's show all the time. He talks to people that are part of the show, people in his life. They have long conversations that are really fun to listen to. I listen to him all the time, and the Wild Man, Josh Mcilahrgey, was on. It's a really fun episode that you guys should check out. And these two, Waldorf and Statler over here, are talking about how they hate marriage and kids. And Mcilahrgey was going into this whole... Look, we know that Mcilahrgey is the wild man. All right, we know that he has this stuff. But he's the ladies' man. He's just a charming guy. There's a lot of stuff that happens.
Got moves.
There is something going on right now. And I was going to give Mcilahrgey some crap and Ken some crap about that whole thing with marriage and kids, but I'm past that at this point because I got to protect my boy. I got to protect Mcilahrgey.
Oh, not me. Okay.
No, not you. There's another great show on this network called The Sex Squad, and it's Jaden James and Jaden Cole. They're two adult film actresses.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing that has happened. Josh Mcilahrgey runs a show also called Three's Too Much with Mark Ellis. And Jaden Cole came on the show, and it was great. Then Mcilahrgey went on their show. It was really fun. And then Mcilahrgey leaves, and these girls start destroying him. They start saying Jaden Cole said, I had a crush. I had a crush on Mcilahrgey. I had a crush, and I was over at his place, and we were shooting this show, and he didn't try to make a move, and he didn't close the deal because he had another guest at 8:30. First of all, I was that other guest, so there you go. But there was the thing. Then so they start taking shots at him. He didn't close the deal. He didn't do this. He didn't try to do it. And I'm like, this is bullshit. We're going to talk to Mcilahrgey about what happened. And then we're going to talk about Johnny Ice for throwing him under the bus. But let's talk to Mcilahrgey for Johnny knew it. Johnny knew the second we started talking, he looked over and he went, fuck. So let's Mcilahrgey, what's going on? This woman is saying that you didn't want to close the deal. You didn't take a shot. Tell us what's going on with Jaden Cole.
All right, hold on. So, first of all, I get a text from her that says, you need to watch. We talk about you. My bad. We talk about you in the first 15 minutes of the podcast. So I turn it on, and I am getting destroyed by Johnny Ice.
Oh yeah,
like
Ice
destroyed.
He said that you like dick.
Yeah.
He said that
he called me a moron.
Called you a moron. All right,
that moron.
It was fucking moron.
Fucking moron. Okay.
Yeah,
Just so we're clear.
I just want to tell my kids if they're watching, I'm sorry.
Mom, press pause.
Yeah. All right. So, before we get into the Johnny Ice thing, real quick. So,
go ahead.
Makuga, explain yourself now. What's going on? The wild man I know, the attractive woman. She's there. You could have taken a shot.
Sure.
Why didn't you take the shot?
Listen, I am shooting my web series Between the Sheets. I have 2 guests every Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah.
I have 3 producers in the apartment.
Right.
In the studio, as we'd call it. I have a guest at 8:30. She's my 7:30. She has to come here for her 10 o'clock show.
Right.
I think she was anticipating some lovemaking. When she pulled up, she said, "I'm wearing my fuck me dress," and I said, "Okay, well that's great to know."
Wait, have you guys hooked up before?
I'm not gonna go into details.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, your answer was
Okay.
Wait, he said I'm not
She
going to
said
the
over.
details.
Listen, I'm in business mode.
He's a
here, right?
professional.
All right.
I'm in business mode.
All right. You not confirm or deny? You did not confirm or deny. Okay.
Correct.
All right.
Confirmed.
It's sounding more like J.J. Abrams.
Let me tell you, if you guys have had a dream about Laura Prepon,
Yeah.
meets Princess Leia in the snake suit in Jabba the Hutt's lounge.
Oh, you're
meets
talking about
the
my
greatest.
7th grade year.
Let's just say it's been a lot of fun.
It's been good. Okay, good. So, all right. So we just don't know why. We think the reason why she has a
What
big
I
crush.
want to say
She's got a
is
big
that
crush.
You're going out to
she's got a
Chili's.
of course, she's got a
having
crush.
some
Look
raspberry
at me.
phosphates.
You're the
when you
wild
go-
man.
Oh my God.
You're the wild.
I just threw up
You're
in
the
my
wild
mouth.
man.
I'm a wild guy.
Now-
I get nuts. She wants the full wild man experience. It's
And
like
you're
you
gonna
go
give
to
it
a
to her?
3D movie and you forget the 3D glasses.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So this is not the last we're going to hear the Wild Man and Jaden Cole.
Correct.
Okay. All right. There we go. So that's it. So Johnny Ice, I think you owe Makuga an apology though, because you really think.
What apology? You didn't do it.
How
You
do you
could have
know?
banged her right
Wait a
afterwards.
second. How do you know? How do you know? First of all, that nothing happened. He didn't confirm or deny. You don't know what happened before or after.
I was told nothing happened.
See, but you don't have to. You don't
By
have to,
her.
Okay.
I was
Oh,
told.
well,
That
solves the
day,
mystery.
nothing
Sherlock.
happened.
Come on. All right. Anyway, I think eventually you're going to owe him an apology. All right. Let's.
What did that have to do with me being dressed like a
I just
girl
wanted to
next
see
door?
how you feel about the adult film star and the wild man having this romance. Do you?
I'm not
What
surprised
does that
by
do
it
with their
at
clothes?
all.
What's that?
What does that
I'm
do
not
with their
surprised
clothes?
by it.
She's dressed like
Like an adult film star?
No. All right, forget it. Let's move. We're off track here. All right. So now
We're off track now?
Yeah. We're getting to the news now. Kenny's in the seat. Johnny Ice is going to try not to insult anybody else in the room, and he's going to play the music. There we go. It's news time.
That is right. I'm Ken Napzok, and these are your Schmoes Now headlines brought to you by Magic Hat Brewing Company. Disney held their D23 Expo this past weekend and revealed many new projects, both animated and live action. Day one highlights included Tom Hiddleston singing Bare Necessities, while Disney previewed high-interest projects like Inside Out, Finding Dory, Frozen, The Good Dinosaur, Zootopia, and Big Hero 6. But all eyes were on day two in the anticipation of the live-action slate of projects. Marvel and Lucasfilm were set to be the stars, and Marvel film head honcho Kevin Feige delivered with footage, mostly already previewed just weeks earlier at Comic-Con, though this time at least Sir Anthony Hopkins was there to stand awkwardly next to Natalie Portman. No problem because of this little space opera thing called Star Wars. Certainly Disney would deliver some big news. Nope, no Star Wars. No Star Wars news, not even a little nugget about Anthony Daniels returning to C-3PO to sing Bells, Bells, Bells from the Star Wars Christmas record. Instead, Disney took over 15 minutes to preview the Disney nature documentary Bears, in which bears walk around the wilderness being bears. But those aren't your normal singing, dancing, vaguely racially insensitive stereotype Disney bears. These ones were actually bears. It's as if Disney said, "Hey fans, do you think Chewbacca looks like a bear? Well, then this movie has a whole bunch of Chewbaccas. These ones like honey. It's Disney Nature's Bears this summer. Hey, you want to go see Star Wars? Nah, I'd like to see a bear fight off a pack of wolves over a fish in Disney Nature's Bears this summer.
Hey,
Does a
that
bear
sounds
shit
cool
in the
to
woods?
me.
Sure does. You'll see it this summer at Disney Nature's Bears." In all fairness, perhaps Disney was just waiting for facts to announce, which is certainly not something the internet waits for, as this week the rumor mill was crackling like lightning on Luke Skywalker's teeth. A website called Jedi News and then a little GeoCity site called Yahoo News reported that Ian McDiarmid, best known as the Butler in Dirty Martin Scoundrels, and oh yeah, the Emperor, is going to return to the Star Wars universe in Episode 7 as the Emperor and Sith Lord himself, perhaps borrowing from the clone Emperor storyline in the expanded universe. Then our friends at the always controversial Latino Review ran with the story, adding that their source claims that Emperor Palpatine will be in Episode 7, yet not as a clone, but rather a Force ghost who serves as a mentor for a new Sith apprentice that he had recruited prior to his death in Episode 6. Got it? Good. Meanwhile, I'm reporting that Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru will appear in Episode 7 as ghosts that haunt the new residents of their Tatooine farm in the most wacky of ways. Star Wars Episode 7, Beetlejuice. Do you like Wolverine? Do you like Hugh Jackman? Do you like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine? Then you'll like this story. The National Enquirer, citing alien sources close to Bigfoot, is reporting that Jackman has been offered $100 million to portray the superhero at least 4 more times. No word on whether that is for standalone films or as a secondary character in plot-twisting, timeline-mangling ensemble pieces. No comment from Jackman as he's too busy injecting himself with The Rock's HGH. Then this story broke today. Christian Bale has been reportedly offered a $50 million deal to sacrifice his integrity and return to the role of Batman for the upcoming Man of Steel sequel. No official word from Camp Bale, but the last quote registered by him on the subject was, "I enjoy looking forward to what somebody else will come up with. Now McG, get him out of my eye line." Bale's next project is the Ridley Scott Moses epic Exodus. And finally, a short time ago, Earth Girls Are Easy star Jim Carrey pulled out of any promotion of his latest film, Kick-Ass 2, citing a change of heart after recent high-profile incidents of human-on-human violence. Well, now star Chloe Grace Moretz has indirectly called out Carrey, the most definitely still a teenager star, said, "It's a movie. If you're going to believe and be affected by an action film, you shouldn't go see Pocahontas because you're going to think that you're a Disney princess." Adding, among other statements, if anything, these movies teach you what not to do. Carrey has yet to comment back because he's too busy trying to use a magical mask to find his way out of an elephant's ass in time to meet Tony Clifton for coffee. Kick-Ass 2 opens in theaters tomorrow, and Chloe Grace Moretz turns 18 on February 10th, 2015. I'm Ken Napzok, and those are your Schmoes No Headlines, brought to you by Magic Hat Brewing Company and Disney Nature's Bears.
Kenny crushing it. The fans going bananas and loving this portion of the news. Always wear the suit, Ken. Always wear the suit. Make sure that you guys tweet in at SchmoesKnow, at Cospan. Let Ken know what you thought of the news and what your favorite story was. I have a feeling there'll be some bears involved in those tweets. All right, let's get to it. Let's talk about this Christian Bale thing first. Navid, you and I spoke about this earlier today. You don't think that this is going to happen. Why not?
I don't think it's real. First of all, I don't think the news ever really confirmed it. It was just a rumor, right?
Yeah, it was just a rumor.
Yeah. There's nobody's getting offered $50 million to come back in Batman. You don't need him.
Yeah, it was an Entertainment Weekly online story, and it went on for paragraphs and paragraphs. If you dig, there's no facts to it. It's just that, sure, wouldn't it be nice?
I've seen offers nowhere near that were disputed and turned out not to be true.
Right.
$50 million for a movie where they're going to replace him anyways,
and he's going to be in it for 20 minutes. It's like what you're spending. Would you make it back? Possibly, but then how much are you going to? If it's a hit, how much are you going to have to pay him to be in the second one?
Right. It's not even worth it. There's no new news there. Why would you do that?
No. So I mean, Tiffany, you think?
I feel like they're just trying to keep hype up about this whole Batman Superman thing, and this is a way to do it. Like, let's talk about Christian Bale, because if Christian Bale said he would come back for a movie, I would be over the moon excited.
Right.
But he's not going to. I mean, I really don't think he's going to. I
agree. I think that's why there's been the rumors of the meetings for new Batmans and stuff like that. And maybe Warner Brothers is trying to strum up some interest with maybe they're planning stories. Who knows? But it's I don't think it's going to happen.
I mean, it could even be like they're trying to get the fans in an uproar so Christian's like, oh, maybe they really want me back. Like, I don't know.
Well, look, this is, again, guys, tweet in at SchmoesKnow. What do you think about Christian Bale? Do you think that it's worth it? Do you think that he will come back? I want to read your thoughts on this, so make sure at SchmoesKnow, hashtag SchmoesKnow podcast. So we have, Bale, Aaron, I always get his name wrong, Eon Brosnan writes, Bale comes back, guaranteed $1 billion at the box office, so it's worth the $20 million is what he's saying. So $50 million. So, I just don't see it. I can't imagine they're going to shell out that kind of money. And then what does Henry Cavill say at that? You know, he's just like, this is my movie. This is my movie.
Pay me.
I get that he's
just going to be like, can I just have some more lines in this movie?
Right.
Can I just say like a page worth
something
of script?
else? No, there was a point you made about there was Brad Pitt was offered Moriarty in the original Sherlock,
Right.
And he wanted like $20 million to appear at the end of that, and then $20 million for the new one. I understand why they didn't do that because he hadn't proven himself, and just playing the devil's advocate on the Bale side.
But it's still Brad Pitt.
I understand that, but the difference is that the three Batmans are proven, are huge money makers, are fan favorites. So by bringing Bale back,
So is Michael Keaton.
you bring Michael Keaton back, and it'd be interesting. It'd be pretty interesting.
I'd be on board
They
for
said a lot of people would. They said old Batman. I would be.
Yeah.
People would lose their shit.
Yeah.
Doesn't that make more sense? You pay Michael Keaton $50.
Can you?
He was just funny in Clear History.
Stop it.
Okay, so then let's move on to. We're not going to
Just
talk.
like speaking of Brad Pitt, though, is it weird to anyone else that World War Z is like his biggest grossing film to date?
Yes,
That's
pretty crazy. That's a
crazy.
good one to talk about too. Yeah, I mean, all the movies that he's done. That just, I mean, if you think about it though, is it as crazy if you start to think about it though, because of the way that budgets
Yes,
are
because
now and
Legends
marketing?
of the Fall is so amazing.
It's a great,
But he's also-
movie.
Fight Club, so good.
That
But
movie
he
didn't do
doesn't
well in the theater.
he doesn't really do tentpole movies. He did
Right.
Troy and World
Yeah.
War Z. That's
Right,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, again, everyone remembers
biggest
Fight
movies.
Club.
But like, well, maybe are they not counting any of the Ocean's movies because
that's-
it was an ensemble?
I think that caught on in
it's ensemble,
second
but
viewings.
it's still ensemble.
it still didn't do
counts.
as well as World War Z.
No,
No. I
It's
think
not a franchise. You know what I mean?
Ocean's.
Ocean's a
had to be
franchise?
that. No, Ocean's.
No, I'm just saying versus what he said, a tentpole.
Yeah.
Well,
Brad Pitt
just
as
doesn't really do
superhero.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's actually kind of a good-looking character actor when you really break it down.
Yeah, I mean, more or less. All right, so
He's
let's
good-looking?
another one. Just another tweet from that. Another
Kind
tweet
of
from that
pretty.
Bale thing. At Tim L. Sim says, "I don't think it's right to have Bale back. It's a different universe totally from the Nolan universe," which is a good point as well. So, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see how this thing pans out. Now, something that turned out to be very interesting last week on this podcast, we talked about D23, the Disney Expo, all the stuff that was going to go down, and I'll tell you what. And I wrote this up on schmoesno.com. I did my article on it. The animation thing was done so well. It was so cool. Like, it was just a very well done show. John Lasseter got up there and was like the moderator the whole entire time, but it felt like a show. Like the music started out, and they had like Bill Hader came out and did this whole bit. It was back and back and forth with John Rassenberger, which is really great. But the way that they announced stuff that was coming out soon, footage, stuff that was coming out later on, footage. They gave you stuff, bits and pieces, artwork, and it just worked. What out of the stuff that you heard about, guys, in the animation are you excited about, Tiff? I mean, you had Finding Dory, you had Inside Out, you had the Good
Hero.
Dinosaur,
The Big Hero
6.
Big Hero 6 is one of the ones I'm excited about because I remember seeing
Marvel comic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember seeing still photos of some of the stuff that they were working with on it, and it just looks so awesome.
Yeah.
So that I think was the thing I was most excited about. It just felt a little bit more like old school Disney to me, which makes me happy.
And speaking of old school Disney, Matthew Winger 72 tweets in right now that he's excited for Frozen, especially with that awesome singer from Wicked, Idina Menzel, who closed out the show, by the way, with a song from Frozen, which was incredible. That was a movie I wasn't sold on.
Until that happened.
But until a clip in that, like they showed one clip, and I was like, "Oh, this kind of looks like Tangled." Same people who did Tangled. I'm watching Tangled again. That's cool. I can watch it. And then they showed a scene with what's the kid's name that's in the Josh Gad, who plays the snowman in the movie, and this scene that they show between the main characters and the snowman, it felt like old school Disney.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like Wizard of Oz. It felt fresh, and it felt like a fun Disney vibe. And I was like, I'm on board. And then they closed out with that song, and I'm like, animation.
You had tears in your eyes, didn't you?
I had chills.
Yeah.
She's really good, and the song was good, and it was like one of those old school Disney songs.
Well, and I remember whenever Disney films came out when I was younger, that was like the thing that we did as a family. We always went to go see the Disney movies, and it was always these huge, amazing singers that were in the films and big actors. And I just feel like they have started to pack so many actors into it that I'm excited that I feel a little bit more like it's focusing on less characters and they're having like incredibly talented people.
Yeah, they're doing more stuff though too, even with like Finding Dory, which they just said that after this, no more sequels from Pixar, which is interesting. And you know, the Finding Dory stuff they just announced. They didn't show any footage. They announced that I love that Eugene Levy's going to play Dory's dad, and Diane Keaton will play the mom, and then Ty Burrell will play a whale, which I thought was cool because they're going to kind of go back and find out how Dory learned how to speak whale, which is cool. But let's talk about Saturday. A sheer and utter disappointment. And I know there's a lot of people out there giving me shit like, oh, get over it. There's no reason to announce Star Wars stuff. Yes, there is. There's something to announce because this is the difference, though. Because, again, Marvel announced that the Avengers is having their title, Age of Ultron. Okay, they announced that that's coming out. You got to give the fans something at that because my big point was they didn't announce at Comic-Con. They said they were not announcing at Comic-Con. Then there were big rumors that they were going to announce at D23. They never once came out and said beforehand, we're not announcing anything. They let everyone believe they were going to. And then they let people buy tickets. And that was the thing to me. I don't know, Navid, you got a stance on it? Like, as far as, I know the business side, you probably go, yeah, that's what we had to do. But as far as fan side.
I mean, as far as both sides, I don't know why they wouldn't. Even if you just drop something small and insignificant, especially for Star Wars fans, it's going to get massive attention.
I think you have to especially
why
now.
wouldn't you? Even if you just announce that you're shooting it on red camera, like fans would go bananas.
If they would have had C-3PO come out and do anything like
song and dance,
anything.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling.
Like just to announce, like if they announced John Williams was going to do the music, like a couple of weeks beforehand. Why not announce C-3PO? The guy he hasn't left Comic-Con. He's been sleeping there for the last 30 years. And why wouldn't you announce that Anthony Daniels is going to be in it? It's like I just don't. It makes me think: is there something wrong behind it? There were rumors that JJ was dropping out of the project at one point, and then Lucasfilm crushed that. What do you think?
Maybe they haven't answered anything yet. I don't believe that either. I mean, it could very
it's
well be
supposed to come out so soon.
I know, but you know how this works now. But that was. Can I a quick aside?
Yeah.
Somebody said to me the other day because I'm doing a movie with Sam Worthington. They said, "Well, he's going to be off doing all the Avatar movies," and they said, "Isn't that going to conflict with your schedule?" They start shooting that next September. Like,
wow.
Nothing stays on any kind of schedule or track that anybody gives a shit about.
Well,
but as far as the Star Wars movies,
yeah.
They should have announced something, but it leads me to think that maybe they just don't know what to announce. But they could have announced anything.
But isn't that crazy? I mean, they're supposed to, like you said, supposed to start shooting soon.
They announced John Williams just weeks earlier. You couldn't wait to hold on there, and they did give everyone the impression there was a release on the second day will feature our live action slate of movies spotlighting Marvel and Lucasfilm. That's actually from a press release they had advertising the expo. It wasn't until Friday when they just kind of said, "Oh, we're going to be quiet about that." Half the cosplayers there were dressed up as Jedis. You can't tell me that they didn't.
There are people lightsabers that they knew it. I mean, what they did on the day before, just real quick, just an update. Mcilahrgey, who broke a story about Palpatine, who they said that he basically said that that there's a whole angle that he's going to be playing a Force ghost. He says that there's another scoop that Latino Review is breaking tonight. He was supposed to call in here at right around this time. He just texted me and said that he's going to call in about an hour with the actual scoop. And he said, and what he just said was, this scoop is even bigger than the Palpatine one.
Cool.
So we'll see what he has to say. So let's finish talking about this Star Wars stuff. What's wrong, Wildman? Stick your mug in there. What do you got?
Figure one more big scoop from Mcilahrgey, and it's just like I got Burger King last week. I'm going to be pretty pissed about it.
What are you talking about? The guy, he's got the stuff that he's got. He did say a while ago, Bale was in consideration to come back. It's legit. He's been saying these things that look. They've been coming around. He's pretty on point.
All right. We'll give Mcilahrgey the. I'm just saying. If I have to listen,
he's
to
not good. You're not going to sing his name.
It's
anymore,
sometimes like prophecy in the Bible. You just have to wait 2,000 years, and eventually it hits.
The Book of Job to get all the way to Revelations. Okay, Mcilahrgey, get in there.
All right. Well, we're going to find out soon. He's got something big.
Do you think that maybe they were going to announce something, and the person that was supposed to be involved in it couldn't come at the last minute or something? And so they're instead of just walking up and being like, "So this is going to happen."
I don't know, but why not? Why not announce the big three? Meaning, Luke, Han, and Leia. Why not announce them? You know how crazy, not only would that convention have gone, the internet would have blown up if those three, just to announce. Everyone is speculating that they're in it already. Just announce it.
Okay, I'm going to play the devil's advocate.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know how we were talking about with Man of Steel, how many trailers that came out, and every week it was like, here's another trailer. Oh, wait, here's another trailer. Oh, wait, here's another trailer. And at the end of it, I was like, really? I just saw all the good stuff. So maybe they're kind of taking a play out of that and being like, okay, let's wait.
But this
and
is
give people
When's the movie
like
supposed to
good
come out?
stuff at once.
2015. They're supposed to start shooting. There's no. Normally, you get casting news a year before. You're going to find out a little bit about the story. And I get J.J. Abrams is quiet about details, but Kathleen Kennedy had come out and said, we're not doing that this round. We're not doing the secrecy thing. We're going to let the fans know what's going on. So I don't know if there's some. Riley and I were talking about this. We don't know if there was like some internal stuff. Maybe like JJ's like, no, I'm staying silent. And Kathleen's like, no, I said we weren't. I don't know, but it's
Or
something
maybe
stinks.
they literally don't know yet.
I don't disagree with your statement there. And Disney has all the cards are in their hands. They can wait until a month before.
It's them not announcing
It's
isn't
just
gonna
we
stop
have
anyone.
this fanboy culture now that sometimes requires this to get the buzz, and they kind of seems like they toyed with it and played with it and kind of dangled it, and then Alan Horn was like dark forces.
But that's the thing. Now look, this is Sandy Ramirez at Photonuts, which is a great Twitter handle. Writes in, seriously, why do they have to do what you want? Because that's the thing. If you're going to sell people on buying tickets that you're going to have Star Wars news, deliver. If you're not, like if I had gone to Anaheim, and they said there's going to be no Star Wars news. They never said there was going to be, but they never denied that there wasn't. So they're building up the suspicion. If they would have said, no, guys, nothing, I would have, I'm bummed, but I wouldn't expect anything. I would have written an article. I wouldn't be talking about it now because they said no. But so that's why they have to do what they want, because you're expecting people to buy tickets. That's not fair.
$167 ticket.
Yeah, so that's Photonuts. If you would have bought a $170 ticket thinking that you would go to see Star Wars news, Chewbacca taking a shit on the stage, and it didn't happen, you would be pissed off. All right, so when we're going to take a break here. When we get back, we're going to talk about Danny Strong. Danny Strong, who's the writer of The Butler and the great Game Change and Mockingjay, going to happen soon. We're here with Navid Mcilahrgey.
Every TV show I've ever watched.
Tiffany Smith, Christian Harloff, the Schmoes Know podcast, and Josh the Wild Man, I Slay Chicks McCougar. This is for JT. I can't even. He'd be losing his mind if you heard the music. Yeah,
I know what this is from.
What's it from?
Drive.
It is from Drive. You're right.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first one I've ever gotten.
I think it is the first one you
Except
ever
for Lord
got.
of the Rings.
Yay, Tiffany!
Nice. See, the girl next door thing works. Okay. So, guys, we are, it's a Schmoes Know podcast. I'm here with Navid Mcilahrgey, Tiffany Smith, and the rest of the crew. We are joined, we're going to be joined very soon by the writer Danny Strong, who wrote the new movie The Butler. We were just talking about D23 and the Star Wars news and other things that have just been going on. A lot of crazy shit in the world of geek stuff and whatever. But also Mark Riley's sitting in. He's going to be talking. Mark, you're friends with Danny.
That's right. I am.
You guys went to school together.
We went to college together, and we did a bunch of short films together. We've known each other for years.
Okay, so
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's really cool. Riley helped facilitate that. So I wanted to talk about, before Danny calls in, just some of the stuff that we have coming up as far as guests. Next week's really cool. We have Zach Levi, who's going to be calling in, who's in Thor: The Dark World, and man to my right helped facilitate that. So Navid, thank you for hooking that up too. We're going to talk to him about Thor, just everything about what he's built. But we have actually right now, our guest is calling in. We are very excited to have him on the show. He's calling in now. He is the writer of the brand new film coming out this weekend, The Butler. Danny Strong is with us. What's up, Danny? Uh-oh. Danny, you there?
Hello.
Sorry, just one moment for Danny.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Oh, okay.
I was like, that does not sound
I
like
think
a
Danny has a person now that allows him to call in.
D-A-N-N-I.
Yeah.
Maybe it was that type of thing.
Yeah, right?
We'll wait for him, and then...
So I saw this trailer.
Yeah.
I forget what film it was before, but literally as I'm watching the trailer, I'm like, I'm getting tears in my eyes just watching this. It's going to be one of those movies, The Butler.
The
The
Butler.
Butler.
Yeah.
I had tears in my eyes at the end. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was
so,
amazing.
well, I'm excited to talk to Danny about the film because we have a lot of things that we can that we want to kind of figure out. Mark, you saw the movie 2 days ago.
Yep.
And I know that you're excited to talk to Danny about a lot of the stuff that you saw and questions you had. Because again, guys, this is a cool guest for a lot of reasons, especially for all you not only aspiring writers, but aspiring actors.
He's been in like freaking everything.
Yeah.
It's out of control.
Yeah, he's in a lot of really cool stuff. And he's got a cool story. The fact that he was on a lot of really cool shows and people recognize him from shows. And then he transitioned. And it's not like, oh, I wrote one thing and it was like on HBO at 3 in the morning. This guy has done some serious and great stuff. He's a great writer. So
and
we're
is still acting, too.
Yeah, and he's still acting.
all right, so speak of the devil, and the devil shall appear. The writer of the brand new film coming out this week, this Friday, The Butler. We are joined by Danny Strong. Danny, how are you, man?
Hello, how you doing?
Hey, Danny, what's going on? Of course, man. Thanks for joining us. We actually had Sam Levine on last week, and he was telling us he's the best. Yeah, he was telling us you were joining him and Kevin on Sunday. So we get you now because we're excited to talk about The Butler.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Mark Riley, your pal, is here, and I'm going to let him throw the first question at you.
Danny Strong. Hello, sir.
How are you, Mark? Great to hear you.
I know. I haven't seen you in, years, man. How are you?
I'm good.
I know you're good. You're blowing up, man. And I remember I was driving off of Beverly, and I remember you used to live right off of Beverly Boulevard. And I just thought about you because it was like, I remember I was like going to one of your places. I can't remember what I was doing, but I was dropping by your place. And right around your old place where you lived off of Beverly, there's a huge poster for The Butler. And I just saw that and just kind of smiled and went, "Wow, man, you've kind of arrived, or you have arrived."
Well, this was the question I wanted to ask you, Danny. Like, so you had we have a lot of we have aspiring writers and directors and actors on this show. You had a journey that is not like a lot of people. Like you've been a lot of very recognizable shows, a lot of recognizable characters. And I'm sure you've gotten this question a lot, but what made you want to get out of but transition from acting into writing?
Yeah, well, I was doing pretty well as an actor, and I've been wanting to be an actor since literally I think I was 5 years old. And I went to USC with Mark and had graduated, and within about 2 years, I was supporting myself as an actor, which is the dream, right?
Yeah, of course.
That's the whole goal. And about 2 years after that, so I'm about, 25, 26-ish, I was really unhappy. And I wasn't really sure why. I thought, I'm doing everything that I've always dreamed of pretty much my whole life. And yet there's something about it that's not completely fulfilling for me. And then I realized that my entire life was spent waiting for the phone to ring.
Right.
That I was waiting for my agent to call to tell me that either A, I have an audition, B, I got the call back, or C, I got the job.
Right.
And almost all year long, the answer is no.
Yeah.
No to one of those three questions. And yes, you got the job was maybe 3-4 times a year. So I thought, okay, I need to figure out a way to kind of get my life into my own hands a little bit. I was so frustrated being so dependent on literally my agent and casting directors. So I started writing to just kind of have another creative outlet, and I wrote a script for me to star in, which many an actor has been known to do, and I finished it, and I gave it to some producer friends, and they were extremely encouraging. They all really liked it, and they said, can we run with this without you attached? And I thought, well, the whole point of me writing this was to try and get this made for me to act in.
Right.
But I was so encouraged by the response, and I enjoyed the writing process so much, and it had kind of worked for its therapeutic purpose, which was to get my mind off my acting career, that I made a decision to pursue a writing career independent of my acting career.
Yeah.
That I wasn't going to attach myself to any more scripts, and that I was going to just literally try and make this happen as a separate career. And so I started writing comedy specs.
So you chose not to go down the rocky road, though. You didn't fight for it. You said, okay, that's fine. I'll act. I'll do my thing. But on the side, I'm going to write some stuff that that's in my head, and I'm going to get it out there and prove myself as a writer.
Yeah, exactly. No, I still wouldn't give up my attachment on that script.
Right.
That original script, and the film to this day has never been made, so maybe that wasn't the greatest business decision. But regardless, after that, I told myself, okay, so I'm not going to attach myself to anymore. I'll still try and get this one made, which I was not able to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then just started pursuing writing independently.
That's awesome. And Danny, I remember being at a party with you, and you were telling me about going into pitch Recount at HBO, or if I remember correctly, you had gone and pitched it, and then they kind of gave you the keys, and they were like, "Go for it, man. Go do research." And like, what was a lot of people talk about like the recount and the game change, and obviously, you won an Emmy for game change. And like, can you tell everybody about like that process of like getting recount going and that like what that pitch was like and how that research started and how you even got involved with HBO?
Sure, I call the sale of recount to HBO as a Christmas miracle.
Yeah,
which is pretty profound because I'm a Jew. But nonetheless, I still to this day don't know how I was able to sell that. So here's kind of the fast version was, I've been writing high-concept comedy spec, hadn't been able to sell any, decided that I need to write something that's more the kind of movie I would actually go see.
Yeah.
So I came up with the idea of a movie about the Florida recount. But as my manager told me, no one in town will buy that script except HBO, and HBO won't buy it from you because they are a company that doesn't buy scripts from or buy pitches from writers who have never sold anything, which was me at the time. And I told him, you're absolutely right, but I love this story. I was just really convinced it was an amazing movie in the Florida recount.
Yeah.
So I came up with a 30-minute pitch, and I started taking it around to different producers that had become fans of mine through the previous scripts I'd written. Mm-hmm. And I was able to get some momentum, and then I was able to get 3 producers interested in taking it to HBO. So then my manager encouraged, and my agent at the time, set up more meetings with other producers, and I eventually met with Len Amato, who was working for Paula Weinstein, and they seemed like the perfect company because Paula had produced a number of really classy HBO movies, and she'd also had produced some really big studio movies as well. I mean, many big studio movies. Extremely classy movie producer.
Right.
So, and they had a deal with HBO. So that was how I got the meeting at HBO, was I was able to get a producer who had a deal there, wanted to take me into them with my pitch. So that's what we did.
Yeah.
I went into HBO, and I remember sitting in the lobby, and I was just, for me, that was the victory, that I had this idea, and now I was sitting in the lobby at HBO about to pitch the movie. And I remember turning to Len Amato, and I said, I can't believe I'm actually sitting here about to pitch a movie to HBO.
Yeah.
And he said, it's a better story if you sell it. I think he was right.
Yeah, no, seriously.
So then I went and I pitched, and it was about a half-hour pitch, which is way too long, but I felt like if they were going to buy something from a first-time writer, I had to be extremely thorough. But it went great. And then 2 weeks later, they called and said that they're going to buy the pitch. And then I was off to the races to go write it.
Yeah.
So you were on a different planet then when that happened, though. So, like, how do you handle that, though? Like, so now this gets bought, and now you're on the map as a writer. I mean, that's the thing. You got the good meetings through the other pitch, but this is the one, and cheesy pun intended, that was the game changer. And like so you go ahead and now you're a writer. And how do you balance both that and your acting career at the same time?
Well, first off, let me say that when they bought the pitch, the pressure to deliver a good script, I just can't begin to describe the pressure I felt.
Yeah, I bet,
because I've been writing specs for 4.5, 5 years, and I hadn't sold anything.
Yeah.
And now I've sold this pitch, but I have to write a script. And I felt like I've been given this unbelievable opportunity.
Right.
And basically, this was going to be it. If I delivered on this, I thought, okay, I could actually, maybe get hired by HBO again, or maybe actually really start a writing career that I've been working so hard for so many years at. And if it doesn't go well, then this probably will be the end.
Right.
And I really remember thinking that if I can't pull this off, this could be the last time I ever get hired to write something. And I remember when I turned it into HBO 6 months later, it was a pretty long process.
Yeah.
I did a lot of research. I remember turning it in thinking, this could be the last time I ever turn in a script for hire. It was.
Wow.
I can't underplay the amount of pressure I felt in that process.
Yeah, sure. It was make or break.
And juggling it with the acting, huh?
It was make or break.
Yeah, it really felt that way. And I think, maybe there was some truth to that. As far as juggling it with the acting career, it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
Because with an acting career, you're just unemployed most of the time.
Yeah.
And then when you have auditions, they take up a few hours out of the day, but you can still write during that day. So the only days that you can't really get that much writing done is when you're actually shooting.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Did you shoot anything while you were working on either one of those films?
As far as I can't remember if I was shooting anything while I was writing Recount. It was just a while ago. I'm sure I shot something at some point.
But nothing that threw you off from not being able to write.
Yeah, and even now, when I book an acting job, I usually get writing done on set. Like, I usually don't slow down.
Right. Yeah.
I usually don't lose my day's worth of work when I'm acting. It's very, very rare that I don't get some writing done, even on set. But after I turned Recount in, and things happened really, really fast. It got greenlit about 6 weeks after I turned it in, which was unbelievable. And then with Sidney Pollack attached to direct, and then simultaneously I booked a movie as an actor, and I went and shot this movie for 2 months, but it actually worked out just fine because Sidney Pollack, who was the director, he was busy for that period of time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when I finished Sidney White, I got off the plane, and I went into rewrites with Sidney Pollack, and I didn't audition for 2 years after that.
Wow.
As an actor. Yeah, I went into rewrites with Sidney Pollack, and then he very tragically got sick and dropped out of the film, and Jay Roach took over, and then I was with Jay Roach through pre-production, production, and at that point it had been about 7 months since I'd auditioned because I was so caught up in the movie.
Yeah.
And when I finished production on Recount, I told my manager I didn't want to act anymore. And then I just needed some time off, and then I moved to New York City. And then a year had gone by, and he would call and check in, and I just didn't want to act. I was so happy. I was literally, I think, the happiest I'd ever been because it had been 15 years of pounding the pavement as an actor. And now that pressure I was talking about, or that unhappiness I was talking about, which drew me into writing in the first place,
right.
Now I didn't need it at all financially because I was now busy writing. So for 2 years I didn't audition at all, and it was actually a really great feeling.
Well, and the funny thing is just hearing you talk about, where you're like, oh, an unemployed actor, and there was so much time where I'm just auditioning and not getting things. But you look at your resume, and it's like, Saved by the Bell, The New Class, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Mad Men, Gilmore Girls, all shows that I love and have such a huge fan following. So for you as an actor, what was it like? Because you're not just booking, like, small shows. These are shows that are huge.
Yeah, no, I did. I mean, it was good. I had a really good run for 9 years. I didn't have a day job. I was supporting myself as an actor, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very cool. It was very, very exciting. And I really loved the fact that I was working on shows, but I wasn't always. I've done a ton of movies. Some of them are very bad. A bunch of commercials, and kind of a hodgepodge of stuff. I mean, the thing that people know me the most for, which is Buffy and Gilmore Girls, and now I guess Mad Men.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are really terrific shows.
Yeah.
Really, all three of them are fantastic. I mean, Mad Men being one of the greatest television shows of all time, and some people feel that way about Buffy and Gilmore Girls too. So,
Danny,
it was great.
Do you feel that helps you though too in the room? Like maybe because the executives watch TV. So when you go into hey, the guy, I just watched Mad Men last night, and you were on it, and you can write your ass off. It's like you get that kind of stuff.
Well, it certainly doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
I think what it helps in the room is that because I've spent so many years going into rooms auditioning, that I'm just very comfortable in a room, and I'm very comfortable pitching, and it's easy for me where I guess there's a number of writers where perhaps that part of the process isn't so easy for them.
Right.
And then, many that it is. But, I think people dig it. I think ultimately they're not going to hire me because I was Jonathan from Buffy.
No, but right.
Because they like the writing, but it certainly doesn't hurt.
But they already have a warm spot in their hearts for you when you walk in the door.
Dan, so I want to talk about The Butler, but I guess this question comes in from a fan at Alan Cumbus, and he wants to know, and I guess this kind of pertains to The Butler and as well as Game Change and Recount. He asks, how is adapting real life events or books different from making an original screenplay?
I'm sorry, something beeped when you were asking the question.
That was Riley. He's sabotaging my questions.
I haven't done shit.
Okay. So Alan asks, how is adapting real-life events or books different from making an original screenplay?
Well, when you're adapting true life stories, there's a little pesky thing called fact that you need to incorporate into the project. You're either shackled or, as I like to say, aided by the true story events. Now, I'm not, as opposed to an original screenplay where you can just make up whatever you want. I would say, though, that, and I get offered, after Recount, I got offered quite a bit of true story type films, and I would say that the ones that I pursue them because the facts are great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that there's so much great stuff in it that I think it can make a really exciting movie. And so the trick is, how do you turn this true story into a 2-hour, 3-act structure?
Right.
How do you, who are the characters? Who's the protagonist? Who's the antagonist? What's the end of Act 1? What's the end of Act 2? All those kind of natural movie beats. That's kind of the challenge of doing that with a true story, but sometimes they don't necessarily fit neatly into these 3-act structure boxes, as opposed to a fictional story or an original story that you can just do what you want with.
So, Danny, that it seems to sound like, because when I saw The Butler a couple days ago, I got all the press notes, and that's kind of what you went through in writing The Butler. Is that right? I mean, because and I also wanted to hear about how Laura Ziskin, did she approach you for The Butler, and then it was up to you to come up with the story off of the article, or how did that work?
Yeah, so that's exactly what happened. So Laura Ziskin, our late great, very beloved producer, who's sadly no longer with us.
I know,
but a real Hollywood legend and a wonderful lady. It was just, I think I worked on her last script with her. I think that was The Butler.
Yeah.
An amazing experience. She's so cool and so smart. She had optioned with her producing partner, Pam Williams, who then took over the project after Laura passed away. She approached me with the article. It was a profile on Eugene Allen that was in the Washington Post. There was a really, really great story on this White House butler named Eugene Allen, but it wasn't necessarily a blueprint for a movie.
Right.
It wasn't as if I read this article and thought, oh, okay, this is easily a movie.
Yeah.
I remember thinking this concept is an amazing concept for a movie, because by this character of a White House butler, that means he could be in any room at any time in the White House during any historical event.
Yeah.
So it was this kind of great gift.
Yeah.
Of, wow, we could do anything we want within the history of the United States, because we're going to be in the White House when the presidents are making these decisions. But I literally had no idea how it was going to be a movie. It was extremely daunting, the concept. And basically, she didn't have that much of an idea either. She kind of felt the same way I did. This is an amazing setup. But she gave me the article and said, try and figure it out.
So let me,
basically what I did,
No, I was just going to say, like, one of the things is that, Game Change and Recount, and now this one has the Oscar buzz around it too. Already people are talking about it. It's like, it's like you're King Midas. It's at this point where you get your hands on.
Well, I think we need to see how it goes with The Butler before we get the.
But there's buzz, regardless.
Regardless. At this point, I mean, the buzz is good.
I'm starting the buzz strong. I'm starting it right now, man. I saw it; it was brilliant, and what you it really stuck with me. What you said, having the butler being like in the room when these amazing events are happening. And that's represented so well in the movie. And I love that you got Forrest Whitaker, who's just a phenomenal actor, and that the fact that, you know, he would just be in the room while, like, you know, I think of, like, you know, when he's in the room with like Nixon, and Nixon's, you know, talking about civil rights, and you know what's going on with his son in the background, and you just look at Forrest Whitaker, and this just like, he's just solemn, he's just doing his job. And I mean, I think that is so interesting.
Well, Danny, it's Navid. I wanted to add something to that. I think you were getting to this point at the end of your last comment. You added the stuff with the son, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So that's the reason why the character in the movie, Cecil Gaines, is not named Eugene Allen. Because it's not Eugene Allen.
Mm-hmm.
It's inspired by Eugene Allen, but it's a composite character of many different butlers and people that worked at the White House that I interviewed. And basically, to tell this story, I gave him a son who was a civil rights activist, so that the son could be in the middle of these civil rights battles that the presidents are having to grapple with.
Yeah.
And it created this triangle of father, the son, the president, and the father serving the president while he's dealing with the crisis that the son is in the middle of.
Yeah.
So the goal wasn't to tell this beat-by-beat factual story about the life and times of Eugene Allen.
Mm-hmm.
The goal was to tell the history of the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
It's seen through the eyes of a White House butler, the presidents that had to deal with the civil rights movement when they were in office, and then a civil rights activist who was in the middle of the battles.
Yeah. And that balance, it's so awesome in the movie, man. It really, really, it played so well.
I'm so happy you like it. So,
yeah,
it's one of those things where, no, this is not a beat-by-beat factual true story, but it tells the universal truth of what it was like to be a server in the White House, but more importantly, of the story of the civil rights movement in the United States, which is an incredibly dramatic, intense story. And all the history in the movie is true. All these events happened. These are all the decisions the president's made. It represents the president's point of views accurately. A lot of the president's dialogue is actual dialogue that they really did say.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
Nice. I have one more quick question. Yeah. Are you writing in that Jennifer Lawrence gets naked in Mockingjay?
Oh, stop it! Stop it!
I think everybody was.
Now that was the animal in the room. Now, but you know, using a very poor transition there. Let me ask you a question though too. I know that you can't speak a lot about Mockingjay or anything at all. But I don't know. Can you talk about how you got involved in the Hunger Games?
Yeah.
Yeah, so real simply, because you're right, I can say very, very little about Hunger Games. They went to several writers, I think it was 8 writers, to pitch 2 parts to Mockingjay, because they knew they were going to do it as 2 movies. And I was just one of the 8 writers, and then I got hired to write Mockingjay Part 1.
Okay.
And then I wrote it, and then I turned it in, and then they hired me to write Mockingjay Part 2.
That's nice.
And then I wrote it.
Do you get?
So that was kind of the series of events.
Do you get more nervous seeing a film that you acted in, or ones that you've written now?
There's a good question.
Good question. Well, I just don't like watching me act, which is why I don't put myself in any of the movies. I have a very, very, very tiny bit in The Butler.
You were awesome in that part, Danny. I saw you.
Out.
Yeah.
What?
No, he said. Riley
I
just
said you were awesome, and I when you popped up in that little cameo on The Butler, I was like, "Hey, Danny Strong."
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we lost our actor like a week before, so Lee Daniels called me, and Lee was great. I had the most wonderful collaboration with him on this project. You know, I spent a year working on the script with Laura Zitkin and Pam Williams, and then when Lee came on board, I worked with Lee on it for just years, off and on. And then he called me about a week before production. I mean, I was doing rewrites up until production and even through production. Actually, the last thing I wrote was the voiceover track. I wrote it 8 weeks ago.
Wow.
So I rewrote the entire voiceover track, 8 weeks ago to match it to picture.
Wow.
So Lee called me and he just said that, the actor dropped out. I want you to play it, and can you rewrite the scene for yourself and make it a great scene? And I was so flattered. It was so sweet of him. And So I wrote the scene, and then what you see in the movie isn't the scene at all. He cut the scene and just used the improvisation that we did.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah,
Well-
it was just a little bit of improv.
Well, Danny, I wanted to thank you for joining us tonight. It was really, I know that you're in the thick of things right now, and make sure, guys, you check out The Butler. It comes out this Friday. It is again a very intense movie, and it's going to be one that has a lot of buzz on it. And Danny, before you go, I have to ask again, because is there anything else? I know there's very limited stuff that you can tell, but our fans keep tweeting in, and I told them I would ask one more time. Is there anything else that you can give with Mockingjay that you can say at all?
Nope.
Nothing. All right. Well, I tried, guys. I tried. Well,
Big
good.
hug to the fans. Sorry.
That's
Don't mean
okay.
to let anyone down, but I'd rather not get myself in trouble.
You're smart. You're a
Yeah.
smart man. All right. So
Very
here,
good.
then we'll do this deal. Then once the movie is about to come out, we'll have you come in and talk about that. And then when you write the new Star Wars film, we'll have you talk about that as well.
Yeah.
Mark Riley is all the characters.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Danny Strong, thank you so much, and congratulations to all your success, man.
Yeah, good to talk to you, Danny.
Thank you. Talk to you later, Riley.
All
Talk
right,
to you later.
man.
Bye.
Thanks, Danny.
All right, guys, Danny Strong. That was a
Danny
lot of fun.
Strong.
I mean, it's so cool when, again, like you see a friend succeed, and the fact that, I mean, look, one silly ass fan wrote in, "Oh, I want to see one of these times when they don't kiss the guest's ass," and it's like, well, the guy has won Emmys, has Oscar buzz around him. It is a huge accomplishment, the stuff that he has done, and he's writing both Hunger Games movies, some of the biggest movies in movies right now. So
Yeah.
it is. It's okay to be very excited
And it's
talking
so
to this guy.
crazy when you
Respectful,
hear-
excited,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah,
But it's crazy when you hear someone who definitely has a lot of stuff under his belt and is still like, oh, like I felt flustered when I was auditioning and I get nervous when I go into the room.
He's a normal
and-
guy.
Yeah.
He's a normal dude. So that was that. Very happy to have Danny Strong on the show. Looking forward to having him on again. And we'll get more Mockingjay stuff out when he can talk about it. We'll have him back on the show. But when we come back, we're going to be joined by DJ Goldberg, a person who was part of phase 1 of the podcast, is going to be joining us very soon. He's a TV exec over at McGee's company, Wonderland, and we are going to talk to him about all the stuff on TV coming out, the fall pilots, what's got the buzz, all that type of shit. And then Wildman TV will be back. It is the Schmoes Know Podcast. Christian Harloff, Tiffany Smith, Navid Mcilahrgey, Mark Riley, the whole fucking crew. Oh, how about that?
Yeah, but
You like that? I wish Mcilahrgey was listening right now. He missed the beginning. If you would have heard the beginning, you would have known what it was immediately. Breaking Bad. Hey, guys, it's the Schmoes Know Podcast. There's a reason that TV theme is on there, and we're going to talk about our guest in just a second. But before we do that, I'm sorry I don't have either Kristen DeLuca or Aaron Darling here to model this shirt. I have this thing. Tiffany Smith's not going to model this. I have Josh the intern who's modeling a Ripped Apparel shirt, and that is Boom from the great Evil Dead series, An Army of Darkness. Ash, all right, get out of here. Thank you, JT. Yeah, Ripped Apparel, man. It's awesome. Like if you go, DJ Goldberg's here. Stick your mug in there, DJ. What's up, man?
It
Right
just
there.
means you have to sit
It means you
closer
have to sit. Yeah, so they can hear you. DJ, I gave you a shirt a while ago because you are a huge Big Lebowski fan.
Correct.
So I gave DJ a shirt. Guys, if you don't know Ripped Apparel from listening to the show, or if you're brand new to the show, Ripped Apparel is great. It combines two shirts, two like genre, not genre, two movies, if you will. Like today is a
It
great
could
one.
be video games sometimes,
Be
though,
anything.
too.
You know, Doctor
Half
Who.
the time, Christian doesn't know what the two things
That's
are, and he
bullshit.
still buys them
That's
anyway.
bullshit. Sometimes I buy it for the shirt design, then I learn about things. But today is a great one. There's Doctor Who in the vein of Star Wars, which is the old school Star Wars picture. So if you're a Doctor Who fan, go to rippedapparel.com, use the widget on the Schmoes Know page on Toad Hop right now, and just click in SK Kickass, and you get $1 off. It's worth it for the whole month of August. It's SK Kickass. Use the code. It's worth it. And Ken, you got one other thing you want to talk about.
Yeah, that's right. You know, this is a kind of a football-friendly podcast. We
It
got
is.
Giants, we got
Yeah.
Steelers, we got Miami Dolphins. This is our year, kids. And fantasy football is back along with football, and DraftKings is celebrating with millions in cash prizes. DraftKings, it's a one-day fantasy sports location. One-day games mean you're never locked into a season. It's like a new season every time you play. Pick your team in minutes, and you could instantly be getting your share of $1 million they're awarding kickoff week. Yep, that's right. Week 1 this football season. season, $1 million is up for grabs. DraftKings is where anyone can enter with a couple bucks and win big cash prizes. True story. One guy won $100,000 his very first time. $100,000 day one. Play for free. That's right, free at DraftKings.com. Enter Schmo, SCHMOE, with your first pay game and get free entry into the $1 million kickoff bash. Seriously, folks, free entry that could win you thousands just playing fantasy football. Use Schmo, SCHMOE at DraftKings.com, DraftKings.com.
I just got into DeLorean and got a text from Ellis, and he already signed up. Okay, guys, without any further ado, I want to welcome back, which has been far too long. There have been 3 phases of this podcast. There was this. We're in phase 3 now, which is the Toad Hop phase. We were in phase 2 when the great producer Katie Levine was producing with us, and we had Catherine Reitman on. And phase 1 was when we had a karaoke machine. It was like broken, and you really couldn't understand it. We didn't have headphones. And one of our first guests that we ever had is a really good friend of mine. He is an executive over at McGee's company, works in TV. DJ Goldberg, what's up, pal?
What's happening, brother?
How you doing? Yeah,
Good.
Of course, man. Welcome back to Schmoeville.
Listen, this is a lot nicer of a setup than last time.
What are you talking about? You don't miss the trunk?
Like sitting in your room with a Rocky poster behind me.
Bad back,
right? And then walk next door to my house.
Yeah, that's right.
Great.
So, Deej, we're going to be talking about some TV stuff. It's a lot. DJ is the guy. Even before he was working in TV, you went and talked to DJ about what was coming out on TV, what was the latest stuff. He knew about The Sopranos and Mad Men and all that shit before it even popped.
Shocking, I'm single.
now, Deej, what's the big TV show right now that's getting all the buzz?
I mean, I think it's got to be Breaking Bad coming back for the final 8.
Okay, so
you mean new shows?
No, we can talk about it. I mean, Breaking Bad coming back is the one that people are talking about in TV world. We'll talk about the new shows in a sec. But so Breaking Bad is the one because it's the final season.
Yeah, and it's brilliant television. I mean, everybody watches it. So.
It's insane how that show is caught. I mean, we even played. You don't watch it, Naveen?
I suck.
No, but why is that? I'm just curious.
I never started the first season. I should have. And then you know how it is. Once you don't start something.
Yeah, Netflix.
You have Netflix or do you want the DVDs?
I have Netflix.
I haven't watched any of them either.
You'll
but
go
my reasoning is that, like, if I don't jump on the bandwagon at the beginning, I feel like a poser. If I jump on like
That's
3
stupid.
seasons,
Enjoy the show.
Cares about the poser.
Feeling a poser.
Watch art.
Yeah. Now, Makuga, you're going to get
coming
your
in now and
shot.
talking about the Red Wedding.
That's true. That's true.
I feel like once this season is over, then I can watch every single episode
and I'm
of every
jealous of
single
you for
season.
that. I'm jealous of you.
One sitting.
And I don't blame you for that, Tiffany, because Mark and I had never seen an episode, and the fans were just like, "You have to review Breaking Bad. You have to." So like, all right, fine. You know, we went and we watched 4 seasons in like, I don't know, 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
That good?
Dude,
really
it's
great,
fantastic.
It's really
it's
well
so
done.
good.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic. Listen, I have to be honest with you.
Oh God, here we go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll do that.
Don't tempt him with that.
I know.
Oh, this is Gary Busey. I was watching
Oh my gosh.
some of Breaking Bad and realizing
Just stop.
the methamphetamine is just coming
Your
out the
poor
side
daughter
of
is going to have to deal with this all the time around her friends. I just had like a flash forward to her being 13 and you doing that.
Jesse Pinkman is actually the name of my daughter.
Okay, so we were Breaking Bad it's a fantastic show, and this first episode of season 5B. Oh, I don't want to ruin it for, again, Tiffany, who hasn't seen it yet. But I'll tell you what, you better start catching up, because August 29th, we're going to have RJ Mitty in here, who plays Walter Jr., and there might be some spoiler stuff. You might want to watch
fine, but
those.
here's the thing. If I hear spoilers about the last season now, I'm going to forget them by the time I start watching.
No, you won't.
You can't talk about those spoilers on here. People will be so upset.
She's a girl. Of course you will.
No. There are certain. It's just certain spoilers. Look, Makuga and I were sitting at Wood Ranch Grill at the Grove probably 6 months ago.
More than that.
More than that?
Over a year.
No, it wasn't that long
And you
ago.
told him something.
Really? No, a stupid waiter there comes up and goes, "Oh, crazy that blah, blah, blah died, huh?" And I'm like, "You asshole." I haven't watched the show yet, and I will. And Makuga said, "You may not remember." And I kind of did. I kind of knew.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I kind of knew. I forgot, but then it was like...
Facebook ruins everything for me.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've been easily able to avoid everything because I haven't watched a single episode. I don't even know the characters' names. Like, some actor from Breaking Bad was on my flight a couple weeks ago, and everyone was like, "Oh, Breaking Bad!" And I got home, and I told my friends, and they were like, "Who was it?" And I was like, "I don't."
You're
know.
gonna kick yourself in the ass once you watch it, and then you went, "Oh my god, I was sitting next to that person." But all right, so DJ, we're talking about Breaking Bad. Obviously, everyone's gonna be watching that thing. It's huge, and then you have all these rumors of Bryan Cranston's gonna transition over to film more and do Lex Luthor, and yada yada.
He also directed the first episode.
He did, and he knocked it out of the park.
And weirdly, he's been directing a ton, mostly sitcoms. He did a bunch of Offices.
He wants to do a feature now.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean,
Really?
he's a talented dude.
He is, dude. And I'll tell you, that episode is going to get him a lot of work as a director.
Yeah, no, I think it was really
God,
it was interesting to watch him finish the last half season or whatever it was, and then literally the next week see his name come up on an Office episode, and like what? And like how do you turn
You're like,
Walter
Really?
White
See,
off?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't know that.
And also, how do you turn off being a fucking like Scarface meth
I am the
dealer
one who
and
knocks.
then be like, hey, like it's brilliant.
It's the best, man. I didn't know he directed comedy too. And I guess, look, it makes sense. He
Malcolm
crushed
in
it
the
on
Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle, and he was on
I think
Seinfeld.
didn't he direct some Malcolm in the Middle too?
Yeah, he did.
I think he
Wow,
did.
and he was on Seinfeld for a while.
And he was a dentist, wasn't he?
He's a dentist. Yeah. He was
Anti-dente?
He
was the creep.
Tim Watley.
Oh yeah,
Tim Watley, yeah.
Watley. That's right.
So all right, Deej. So we got so Breaking Bad. What else? What are the other big ones that are coming back? Sons of Anarchy, is that one?
Sons is
I
great,
can't wait for Sons of Anarchy.
I love it.
So that's not going to come back.
And that one, like, I mean, look, it's
Never watched that one. I've never
Is
seen
this
that
the
one.
last season?
There's going to be this one,
You
and
love
I think one more sort of shortened season, maybe
Mm-hmm.
the way Breaking Bad did it. But look, it's it gets and I subscribe to it, but it gets a little cartoony as the seasons go on.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm fucking in.
You're in.
Like, yeah, I mean, like literally, it's the gnarliest show I've ever seen. Like,
So it's worth checking
I
out.
got my motorcycle license in part because of that
Really?
show. Yeah,
Really?
I did. I
You-
did.
Can you give me a
Really?
ride?
Never.
When I get a motorcycle.
I never in a million years could see you on a motorcycle.
Never.
Never.
I
Not
do.
in that
It
outfit.
says it on my license.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I was like, I want to
feel
be on
like
that show.
every-
I better get my motorcycle license.
Exactly.
Every female co-host that we have had rides a freaking motorcycle. None of us pussies do. All right. So, what now? Besides, so Sons of Anarchy is something. Do you watch that one? I don't either. I don't either. So that one.
I don't think Navid owns a television.
I don't watch TV. I only
I
run
watch
a
Sons of
television
Anarchy.
department. I don't watch TV.
No, so you run. So what do you guys? So you run a TV department, Navid.
I have a guy who runs it.
All right. So what? But no. But I mean, that's. You know,
I do
got a
too,
guy.
guys.
I got a guy.
Yeah. So what shows then are you looking at then for you if your guy comes to you and goes, look, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that. What
Whatever is going to make me money.
Yeah.
Navid's got a badass format coming his way. That's for true.
Yeah. Oh, you saw it?
No, I haven't seen it, but I've read about it.
What is it?
Yeah.
To talk.
We bought a Norwegian.
Yeah.
Norwegian, the TV
Yeah,
show.
Norwegian.
Norwegian.
It's a new country.
All right. So okay. So Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad. Let's see. What else? Let's hear from some of Schmoville. If you guys want.
Do you want to talk about? I mean, any of like the emerging digital platforms that are having legit shows?
Of course. Yeah. What do you got?
Netflix?
Give us.
No, I mean,
what-
yeah. I mean,
what
Netflix,
stuff
Amazon.
What should we
I
be
mean-
aware of? Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, for somebody like me, it's really appealing because Netflix is, they're doing straight to series orders, which is instead of like playing the stupid game where they make 15 pilots and then maybe you're one of 3 that gets picked up. They're like, hey, dude, we're going to make 10 episodes. Here's 100 million or 65 or 75 million. Go fucking do it, which is sick. And obviously, high-end feature actors and writers are taking to this because they spend the same amount, if not a shorter amount of time making these shows.
Like House of Cards and Orange is the New Black,
yeah,
right?
completely. And Hemlock Grove, and to watch House of Cards like as an experiment, especially in being a drama, and then to see them get the most Emmy nominations.
But didn't Netflix? But Netflix tried that with the Steven Van Zandt thing too, didn't they?
They did, but that was also I don't know that they. I don't know if they originally produced that or if they picked it up and sort of bought it.
I think it was a Gaumont.
Yeah, it was a Gaumont, maybe.
Okay.
I think.
Well,
yeah.
I want to take a call from Schmoville and see what shows people are excited about. Stuff it could be whether it be something new that's coming out, whether it be something returning. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hi, this is Trent from Wisconsin.
Trent, what's up, dude? So, all right, talking TV here. You got something that you would like us to? Again, you have DJ Goldberg here, who, as you can tell, knows his shit about TV. What should we be watching? What are you excited about? What do you got, Trent?
Well, I mean, I like shows that make me laugh, and Duck Dynasty came back yesterday, and that's probably my favorite show on TV for making me laugh.
I've never missed one.
So, I mean, you guys might think it's stupid.
No,
so
no,
I'm sorry, but
DJ. I don't know if you heard DJ. DJ says he never misses it.
11.8 million viewers last
like
night.
the biggest ever.
So,
It's
all right. So
crazy.
I'm not familiar with it. So tell
It's
me,
brilliant.
Tell me. So, Trent, thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. So tell me about Duck Dynasty. What is it?
It's basically a family in Monroe, Louisiana.
Okay. It's live action.
It's like It's basic. It's reality. It's a reality show, but it has scripted elements to it. I mean, there's a lot of setup going on. Just to
it's basically like The Hills, where it's like it's scripted, but not
so
like
much.
everything else.
And it's just
it's like The Bachelor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A family.
That's not scripted.
A family of guys who make duck calls, basically. The things that you attract ducks with to shoot them. And their father, the patriarch Phil Robertson, started the company. He was literally offered an NFL contract as a quarterback or to stay in the woods, and he chose the woods. And he has 4 sons, one of which went to college, and Willie, and now he runs he went and got his business degree, and he runs the empire that has now blown up. But it's basically them just dicking around, and
it's hysterical.
Yeah, and Willie wanting to actually do work and take his business seriously, while his brothers and his uncle and his
and that's what I love about DJ though, because DJ doesn't just like write off reality, right? Because you understand the makings of television and how it all goes down.
And those guys are making a fucking mint, you know? And so there's nothing wrong with that. And by the way, they're unapologetic. They do what they want. They wear their camo. They just it's really fun, and it sort of ends always with with them sitting down to a meal and saying grace and sort of just accepting and loving the fact that they're a close unit family and that sort of a thing. So
okay,
it's
I want to take another call from Schmoeville here. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hi, Chris from Nashville, Tennessee.
Chris, what's up, dude?
Yeah,
So Chris,
Nashville.
Who do you know in Nashville?
My aunt and uncle.
Your aunt and uncle live in Nashville? All right, how about that?
That girl I met at a honky tonk.
See, I doubt that he's ever. Have you ever met anybody named Navid in Nashville?
Stop it.
Have not.
I didn't think so. Okay, so
you mean my cousins?
All right, what? That wasn't bad. I was just curious. It doesn't sound like a name in Tennessee. Okay, so what do you have on TV that we should be talking about?
I'm curious what you guys think about the new show on AMC, Low Winter Sun.
Very good question.
DJ, did you watch it?
I did.
What did you think?
Thank
you, man. Thanks,
Mark.
a lot.
Yeah, it's Mark Strong reprising his role as the same character that he did for the BBC version.
Oh, really?
Or ITV or Channel 4, whatever.
How was that? Because here's the thing with that show. It was right after Breaking Bad, and they wanted you to watch it so bad they didn't show you the trailer for Breaking Bad until a half an hour into the damn thing. Yeah. And I fast forwarded through it because I wanted to see the thing, and not because I didn't care about it. I was too tired. I stayed up.
You didn't care.
I didn't care that night.
Yeah.
No, I didn't care that night. So
look, it's nice to watch.
Is it good?
It's good. It's a cool show. He's phenomenal, obviously.
Of course.
And so I'd watch him do anything, but. Yeah, no, I think it's because look, they're going to start losing shows. AMC, they're going to lose Mad Men, they're going to lose Breaking Bad, and they need to start, start supplementing.
Right,
their,
and they got and Walking Dead needs to get their shit together.
But in all fairness to The Walking Dead, they aren't afraid to kill people that mean something. A la Game of Thrones, or and there's something to be said for that. I think,
all right, so we talked before we get into all some new shows we should talk about.
Right,
comedies. What comedies besides the reality TV? Because look, to me, comedy's dying.
Yeah,
for the majority of it. I mean, there's some good stuff. I guess Children's Hospital. I know Mcilahrgey's got a different opinion on that. He says
I don't disagree.
But okay. So
Children's Hospital is a great show.
But there's some stuff out there. I think the multi-camera show, the studio audience thing, is old news.
It is, but it's also thanks, dude. It is, but it's also
cheap.
It's cheap as shit. That's what it is. It's a huge moneymaker, and there are shows that are still good. I mean, if you have an appetite for Big Bang Theory, it's brilliant. It really is.
Ken feels the same way.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm sure he hates it. Yeah, Kenny. No, but
it's a very popular show.
It's popular, but it's well written
and
and really well acted. So I think that there's something to be said for that. And listen, the golden age of television was hatched out of sitcom and not necessarily multicam, but shows that were, I guess, relatable and not just fantastical. Or
no, totally. I mean,
dude, I like The League. I just started watching it.
Louis is the best comedy on television.
Louis is great. The League is you haven't been on the show since we haven't had him on because Steve Renazzisi's been on the show a bunch of times.
Yeah.
John LaJoie has been on the show a couple of times, and it was funny because we started watching that show because our buddies were in it. I remember Steve telling me, "Hey, I just booked the show, The League," and he kills it. But and I remember going, "Fuck, I hope this thing is good." And I watched it, and I've been watching watching it. That's a great example, Tiffany. The League is one of the funny
and
shows.
I'm not a fantasy football girl.
You don't
and
have to be.
I still love it.
Yeah, you don't need to.
And that's why I love it.
Yeah. So all right. So what about the communities and the?
No, I mean I'm more of a Parks and Rec fan than Community, but I mean, and Community got a sort of a raw deal. They were shuffled around on the schedule and put on they were kind of put on hiatus and then went back, and then they had some showrunner problems, but it was a really good show, good ensemble, and they managed to attract some big names, to get Chevy and to get Joel McHale,
right?
Who, could pretty much have his pick. I think that's a big deal.
Okay, absolutely. Comedies. All right, so. Just in a second here, we're going to get to the Wild Man TV, but I want to. So, give us what shows that are coming out now.
New shows.
New shows can be cable, can be be network. What are the big dogs on campus?
I mean, I think that, and this show is off a way, but I'm sure you read about HBO putting Bobby Cannavale into this. The Scorsese, Mick Jagger sort of 70s New York talent record producer. Or A&R guy show.
Yeah.
That's going to obviously annihilate. Cannavale's been on such a tear. Boardwalk, Nurse Jackie's killing it, and I just
and they'll market it that way.
Yeah, and by the way, look at the team. It's like Terrence Winter's going to write it. I mean, there's no fucking around with a show like that. So I think I'm really excited for that. I'm also excited for Tyrant, which is the new Howard Gordon show. With Gideon Raff is also it's
Tyrant.
Yeah, I'm
and
pretty sure.
What shows? What network?
What network is it on? I can't even remember. It might be. Oh shit!
That script is literally sitting on my desk today.
Is it? Dude, read it. It's really good. Yeah,
okay.
And it's also another Keshet. I think it's a Keshet format. Who are the guys who are responsible for Homeland?
Well, how about Shield? What are you hearing about Shield?
Oh, Shield's dude. It's like it's under lock and key. I mean, I think it'll be nice. I think it'll be good. But I think that's also a very niche sort of group.
It's going to be the fanboy thing. But again,
it
now
is.
You say that it's a niche
Time,
group.
though.
You say it's a niche group, but
it's a primetime show, so.
And it is one of the most profitable, coming off of one of the most profitable movies in history. So you're going to have hey, I want to watch Shield because of the Avengers. You're going to hope that the Avengers are going to be in it. So have you heard any buzz on it at all?
No, man.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Lock and key.
It's
that much.
Yeah, I mean, that's why none of us have seen it.
Yeah.
That's, there's a lot of speculation, but
nothing. All right. So this just in from @Terry Trixie. Hey guys, the Bears trailer is out. You guys should be happy about it. Okay. We talked about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Is there anything else? Because I want to get to. You know what we'll do first? We'll take a break on this, and then Johnny, you want to hit that music? No.
He doesn't want to.
Doesn't want to. No.
Just say no.
It's all right. There we go. That can only mean one
Ellis
thing.
isn't here to enjoy the Aussie.
It's Wild Man TV time.
DJ, I got to tell you, man, TV is my passion.
This is the Wild Man.
I love the fact that you and I are both in the same planar surface here.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
First of all, this is a little bit of old news, but they canceled Magic City.
They did.
Again, Starz cancels another show after the second season.
A good show too.
Fantastic show.
It must have been expensive.
Yeah,
very
they
expensive.
paid a lot more on the third.
Very expensive. All right, here are the shows that they canceled after 2 seasons. Magic City, Boss,
great show.
Party Down. All 3 shows, 2 seasons, done. You're talking about shows of people that people love, like cult classics, and they're just like, forget about it. Here's the shows that TNT has renewed. All of them.
Well, can Netflix pick up those shows?
They could. It's
There's been talk
it's a
of
deal
Party Down
making.
stuff
Yeah,
for
it's
a
a deal
while.
making Marvel when that happens.
Because I was
but,
thinking, what was that show? The one that the cop show that went from one
Southland,
something
right? Which is
like
a
that.
phenomenal
wasn't-
show.
that was-
but that also got canceled.
Yeah. But that went from ABC to TNT.
It did, and it was
Jumping Networks.
that went,
sure.
but it was NBC to TNT.
Oh,
it
right,
was for NBC. It was a subject matter problem. For TNT, it was a financial problem.
Okay.
So
all right, what do we
And
got
they
next?
try to do...
God, look at DJ.
He's the TV guy.
He's the madman.
He's the TV.
I learned it by watching
DJ
you.
and I should do Wild Man TV
Yeah, together. That's why
I really do.
DJ knows everything about TV. Absolutely.
Okay, listen, I don't watch Duck Dynasty.
Get
But
into it,
after
buddy.
somebody literally punched me in the face last night with their ratings, after the biggest ever
Yeah.
of a cable show.
Huge. I mean, those are
11.8 million?
Wow.
those are fucking football numbers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean that's like Monday Night Football, Steelers, Green Bay Packers, and the last place team gets they get
Right.
the playoff spot. That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the one thing I just bought a smart TV. Viacom just okayed.
Sorry, there's too many jokes.
No, hold on. Finally I upgraded from like the 50 to the 60 inch. Okay,
Right.
Got a smart TV.
It's not black and white anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Viacom just okayed all of their programming to basically go
Correct.
straight to streaming. How do you? I mean, I don't. Is that eventually going to be everything?
Yeah, it's the way that. I mean, look at, and even in movies now. I mean, like there's day and date release. I mean, Lovelace just did it this last week.
Everyone, a lot of the smaller releases do it.
Can we talk? We should talk about this.
Yeah.
What Netflix has done for TV,
Unreal,
is going to happen for movies.
It has to.
It will.
Yeah. It's this instant gratification world that we live in, where very few people go home and sit and look at their television set. They have it on a tablet or they have it on their smartphone. And listen, Asia and parts of Europe have been doing this for 12, 15 years already. So like, it's going to happen. It's
a matter of time.
The part that's tough for us is that the system in our country is
we don't have the infrastructure.
We don't have the we have the bandwidth and we have the infrastructure, but we make television for commercials, right? So studios and networks only make stuff,
but
to cut to Dow and Nestle commercials.
Going off of a model, say like even what Ellis and I do with our YouTube thing, like to where ads come up and pop up. That's pretty much what's going to happen. Do you think?
Yeah, it happens, and it'll even get to the point where you can opt out, like you can on YouTube after 5 seconds, and just click the button. But what that does
is you're still making deals.
Yeah,
with
and also what happens is you're registering it to go and click it off. You have to see it, so it's fine.
All right, Wildman, what else you got?
All right, last topic, and then I'm going to go rapid fire. For
DJ.
Josh Gad and Billy Crystal are in a show called Comedians, which is basically supposedly what I hear is called 30 Rock meets Parks and Rec.
Right.
I don't know your thought. I mean, when I hear Billy Crystal, I keep thinking of that face done wrong. Like he went Kim Kardashian dad. What's his name?
Bruce Jenner.
Yeah, because in the movie,
too much surgery.
But not in real life.
Too much plastic surgery.
I saw him at a pumpkin farm. He looked fine. I saw him literally like I'm talking
compared to the pumpkins.
No, like I'm talking to you now.
I thought you were making a joke that his face looked like a pumpkin.
No. I was talking to him about I said the stupidest thing to him. I go, Yankees got to really gut their team, huh? He's like, yep.
Your 3-month-old daughter at that point even blushed. She was like, my dad's an idiot.
She's like, come on, asshole, they're gonna cut A-Rod. Let's get out of here. No, but he looked normal. But anyway, but the show
Comedians.
I think it's the thing where he can roll out of bed, go shoot this show, and sleep in his bed.
So like the Chevy Chase
and
thing
he looks
with
and he looks at his friends Michael J. Fox, and he looks at his friends Robin Williams and Chevy Chase, and why the fuck not? I mean, look, these guys.
How do you feel about Josh Gad and that 1600 pen debacle?
I'm coming around on that.
It was a little.
I like 1600 pen. I loved it.
Listen, it just wasn't. I don't know that the execution was great. The idea is great. Sure. He's amazing. I saw him, do Book of Mormon, and it was transcendent. He's fucking awesome. But he's at a stage in his career where he really needs to make the right choices, and I think
this is the right one.
Well, I mean, dude, how do you say no to Billy Crystal? He probably grew up watching City Slickers over and over and over again. You know, and it is what it is.
When's that come out?
This is a fall show.
City Slickers?
What? What you say?
City Slickers?
City
Actually,
Slickers.
It also
When
was
is
a
it
real
releasing?
plug.
3D?
Everybody, I finally got
sequel better?
the pilot screener of Mixology. Our buddy Andrew Santino murders.
I'm sure he's the best. I can't wait. I mean, and we're gonna have him on. What's that? What's wrong? Is it not that good?
I didn't love it.
Okay.
The script was.
Well, yeah, DJ.
The
What
script was
stinks?
fine.
What stinks?
Dude, unfortunately, on network, most things.
Most things stink on network.
Taking risks.
I mean, look.
And that's
look,
the reason-
What about that
but
Seth? The
the
Seth
world-
MacFarlane thing's gotten a lot of shit, right?
It is.
Does it stink?
It will, but I mean, look, it's got really bright people behind it, and the people who are writing, the American Dads and the whatever Family Guys of the world. So I mean, how wrong can it go? But the thing is like you run the risk of getting self-indulgent when you get that huge.
Right.
But
is that, what about? Sorry, just so TJ awkward. So what about the crazy ones?
Oh shit, the crazy ones.
What is that?
I haven't even heard much about it.
Yeah, me either.
Okay, so it's. No, he stumped you. They stumped you.
Stumped the buoy.
Fa-fa-fooey.
Yeah.
All right, so
real quick,
we got a rapid fire, then we got to go to break.
Go ahead.
All right,
so
ready? Sorry, DJ, here's how this
you
works.
got a minute. I'm going to do rapid fire in a minute. Somebody put a minute on the clock. Ken, put a minute on the clock.
He'll tell you. He's going to tell you. He's going to tell you. He's going to tell you. You tell him what.
Just look at him awkwardly.
I'm just rapid fire questions, either one word.
Just answer
First
really
thing you
fast.
think
Go. When you wake up in the morning, do you have California, here we come on your alarm?
I do.
Does Peter Gallagher's hair have superpowers?
It does not.
Is McG short for McG-Spot, McGuire, or McGwen Stefani?
It is short for McGinty.
Ah, damn it. Is your favorite wrestler Goldberg?
It is.
Finish this. Chuck Bobuck?
Banana Fana Fo.
Thank you. Yeah. So when Brandon Ralph came on Chuck, did you ask him, so Superman?
I said, wow, this guy, look what he's doing.
Okay. Yvonne Strohowski, a.k.a. Sarah Walker and Chuck. Did you ever accidentally walk into her in the dressing room?
Not derobing, but
Whoa.
I wouldn't fuck with
All
her.
right, who's the better DJ? DJ Tanner or DJ Jazzy Jeff?
DJ Goldberg.
That's what I ask you. Next question. If you were an actual DJ, what would your name be?
Session.
DJ Goldberg.
Have you ever actually DJ'd anything?
Yes. No rhyme, no reason.
Yes. No rhyme, no reason.
Is
Correct.
Nikita a better assassin than a sushi roller katana?
She is.
All right, DJ Goldberg.
And how about
Good
the
questions.
Wild Man on Wild Man
questions.
TV? Now, here's what I want you guys to do. We're going to break. When we come back, we're going to be doing What's the Pitch? And we'll be doing a pitch where both the to Navid will be a film will be pitched, and then that same premise will have to be turned into a TV show and directed at Goldberg.
Nice.
And so they will either greenlight it or pass it, and then we'll all vote, and then Schmoville is the final vote. So get you ready on Twitter. But during the break, here's what I want you to do. Go to Schmo Plus and or just type in no rhyme, no reason.
RYNNE.
NORYNENOREASON and look for
A chance encounter or 8-year-old fucked up kid.
Yeah, a chance
or
encounter.
ice cream or any of them.
You will see DJ Goldberg playing a nasty guitar.
Motherfucking.
All right, we'll be back in a little bit, guys. Schmoes No Podcast.
Better live it right. You ain't coming back. Gotta raise some hell before they take you down.
I'm trying to remember which song this is. By the way, Schmoville picks all the music. Oh,
There you go.
there you go. This is for you.
Thank
This is
you.
for you. That's why. That's why.
I like it.
Someone actually had recommended this. Schmoville now picks the music, DJ.
Oh, nice.
So, and then someone had recommended this, and I said, DJ's coming in. Absolutely. DJ loves a Big Lebowski.
Good one.
Schmoes No Podcast. All right, guys. We are going to, in a second, take a call from El Mcilahrgey, who has a scoop that he wants to talk about from
He's just
Star
tweeting
Wars.
about something.
Yeah. So, okay. Before we do that, last week we told you guys that we are now, the podcast is sponsored by comicbookmovie.com, which is a great website. And they are very supportive of us and everything that we have done here on Schmoes Know. And we are happy to, again, collaborate with them all the time. Their fan base has been really cool to us, minus a few. But for the most part, they've been pretty awesome. And we're happy to be a part of them. So we're waiting for El Mcilahrgey to call in, and then as soon as he calls in, we're going to do What's the Pitch. So that'll be a lot of fun. And, in the interim, as we wait for El Mcilahrgey, DJ, real quick, we're going to talk about Sherlock.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long we'll be able to talk before Mcilahrgey calls in, but new season coming out, right?
Yeah.
So are you a fan of that show?
I am.
Okay.
Admittedly, I'm behind.
What makes that
a little.
show work?
I think it's Benedict
Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch. Yeah. He's a fucking
Phenom, huh?
badass, dude. Yeah. And I didn't really know much about him. I'd only seen a couple of Sherlocks before I watched Tinker Tailor. And that's a tough movie to watch. It's really talky and quick, and their accents are tough. And so I went back and I started it over and I put the subtitles on, and he just annihilates. And when you're in a movie, with that caliber of co-stars and you just blow them out of the water, it's fucking dope.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other one. Like I said before, Breaking Bad was the one everyone said to watch, and the Sherlock.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're so lucky because there's so much good cable television on right now that I think that there's a handful of shows you can throw out there that are equivalent or better or worse, depending to varying degrees. But I mean, we've come a long way since the Larry Sanders Show, which was also a show that I loved.
Right.
But that was groundbreaking. To have HBO do a series and then to own it and to
Sorry, DJ, because I think this is our guy, but I want to double check.
Mm-hmm.
Is this our guy? Hey, who?
Hello?
Sorry, man. Sorry, I got to let you go. I thought you were somebody else. I apologize. All right, not yet. He's coming. He's coming. We're waiting for the El Mcilahrgey scoop here. Star Wars stuff. Waiting
the
for
guy I went to high school with.
El Mcilahrgey.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's from New York. You know who he is.
Who?
You've met
I've met him?
Yeah, Umberto.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're waiting for him.
Did you just out him?
He's
Humber.
All right. So anyway, guys, we talked about Sherlock. We're just anticipating this news. What's the news? Who could be the scoop? Is it the fact that he's finally going to announce somebody? What do you guys think it is? What's the speculation, Riley?
I don't know, because I'm actually reading his tweets saying that the source that the source is not letting him drop the scoop. So I don't know if you know.
Basically a liar.
Oh wait.
So
wait.
So that's my speculation that there's no scoop.
All right. Well, this is not good because we got to play what's the pitch here. So I'm going to see right now if he calls in, and then let's see. We'll talk real quick about the Emperor, what he can give.
Okay, I'll say this: it's Yoda Ghost. Yoda Ghost is gonna be in episode 7.
You think so?
No,
you don't think so?
I'm just going off of the Emperor Ghost news.
I would also be remiss not to mention that my favorite show that I'd want to watch would be a Bobby Finstock television show.
Bobby Finstock, yeah. Don't say
You
his name.
had to go there.
Don't say his name.
I have to.
Yeah, don't say his name.
It's
Don't say it again.
That's
Don't
one.
say it again.
It's
Don't
a date
say it
with
again.
Tiffany.
Don't
Just
say it
say
again.
no. Probably say myself no.
And with that, all right, guys. So it's time. Calling into the Schmoes Know podcast is our good buddy Navid Mcilahrgey from Latino Review. What's up, man?
What's going on, bro?
What's going on? All right, so
You sound like your cat just died.
well, I didn't know. It's like 12. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning over there.
What's up, dude? It's Navid.
No, I'm a night owl, bro.
Oh.
This is the beginning of the evening for New Yorkers. man.
That's all right. All right, gotcha. So we're also sitting here with Navid Mcilahrgey, who you also know.
Yeah, he was at our party.
Yeah, we were there. We were there together for sure. So hey,
You
all
don't
right.
remember Christian.
I was drunk. I was drunk at that party. It was fun. All right. So I wanted to ask you now. First, just real quick, because we have this what's the pitch thing we're going to do here in a second. But I wanted to ask you first of all. Let's start with the Emperor. So what the news is? So he's going to be the Force Ghost. How reliable do you think this thing is now?
Oh, absolutely, dude. It's totally reliable. He's, I mean, it's if you think about it, it makes sense. You know, you're not going to bring him back as a clone or something. The guy's dead, but he's coming back as a Force Ghost. But he's not the only one. So you're gonna have to tune in. You're gonna have to tune in for that thing. You're gonna have to tune in the morning. I mean, we were dealing with this and literally got a call. So poor source woke up just to talk because he knew we were going to publish it around this time. He woke up and was, you can't do it right now. You got to give me a few more hours. Like, oh my God, you're killing me, bro.
Killing me. So Mark Riley.
You're like day 23 all over again.
I know. Sure. Well, Mark Riley, our editor in chief on the website, he thinks that it's going to be a Yoda Force Ghost.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Not him.
Damn it.
All right, but there is going to be that's
Yoda.
All right, but the scoop is a Force Ghost. I'm hoping that it's not Ian McGregor.
Ewan,
whatever.
Ewan.
Oh, there was silence.
He's
There was no nope there.
He's a badass.
There was no nope. Did you not nope me?
I didn't say. I'm like I didn't say anything, but
you didn't nope me.
Out of curiosity, why not him?
Oh shit!
I love him.
Because the thing is too. You ready? And Riley and I had this conversation.
Yeah.
Because Alec Guinness was the Force Ghost. You can't go ahead and bring back Ewan McGregor. You just can't do it. I really hope that is bullshit.
No, it's just
I'm told Hayden Christensen is
that's
Taco Bell.
interesting. Interesting you think that. No, I didn't think. I thought he was the best thing about the prequels. To be really honest.
I am not. That's not my argument. He was great in the prequels and one of the few things that worked. But you cannot have old Obi-Wan and then switch to young Obi-Wan, even if you're going to put him in makeup. I don't care. It's not Alec Guinness. Leave it alone.
but what if they gave you a good story that made it work somehow?
I don't care. No. Leave it alone. There's so many more elements.
Hold on. Chris, are you telling me you're one of these expanded universe fanboys right now? Don't tell me that.
No, I'm not. I'm a guy that I already know. This has nothing to do. First of all, I wouldn't mind having parts of that, but that's not what I'm arguing about here. What I'm arguing about is that why you don't need it. If Alec Guinness was the guy that I know from the movies, from those last, you don't need to put Ewan McGregor. He did great as young Obi-Wan. Leave it in the past. He wasn't the Force Ghost that Luke was talking to.
Maybe they'll bring back Alec Guinness.
Yeah, they should bring back. I mean, look, they did it with Tupac.
I was just
They did it with Marlon Brando in Superman
hologram.
Returns.
Easy hologram.
Yeah. All right. So
So who else wouldn't you want to come back?
Hey, what about Liam Neeson Qui-Gon ghost? Because at the end of Sith, Yoda says, "Hey, yeah, I've been communing with Qui-Gon Jinn. He learned how to communicate."
But I read somewhere that Qui-Gon Jinn, when he died, he didn't actually become one with the Force. There was a body, there was a funeral pile for the guy.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't actually. That was one of the things. Okay. In retrospect.
All right, so we know that the big scoop is basically going to be who the next Force Ghost is. That's what we have to check out.
Anakin.
If it's
I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth. I did not say that.
Oh,
either.
you didn't say that.
You probably,
all right,
I didn't say that.
I
either.
thought that's what you were saying.
Like,
you said there was going to be another.
This
one.
is the worst
Wait.
Christmas present ever.
Wait, but
Can
you
I
said-
put it back under the tree?
Wait, you said
the
that.
worst present ever.
Wait,
I wanted
wait.
to come on the air and promote the thing, bro. But the guy wakes up at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning in England over there right now.
No,
Like,
I understand.
you can't do it.
person.
But wait. To go back there, you
It
said.
is Alec Guinness.
But at the beginning of this conversation,
Could be
you stop it. At the beginning of this conversation, you said that he's not the only one.
Right. And that could, you know how big the Star Wars universe is, bro?
Right, but
come on now.
all right. Listen, all right. So
Are you saying he's not the only? Like he has a disciple, he has a new Sith apprentice. Is that what the other one you're referring to?
The rumor is he has. No, I'm not. The tomorrow's scoop, you'll know that this guy was going. But the rumor is, according that that's how they bring all these Sith back to the episodes. The upcoming episodes is that Palpatine had another apprentice before Darth Vader tossed him down that.
Yeah, like he was grooming
tossed him to his death.
He was grooming somebody
else.
else.
That makes sense.
That could be where John Noble pops in. That's where I think.
Interesting. I'm getting a lot of new followers from Lucasfilm. It's hilarious.
I think John Noble. John Noble. Is there anything possible with the John Noble rumor?
Okay, fill me in on that one.
John Noble was the guy he was in Fringe. He was what was the character's name in Lord of the Rings, Tiff? The Steward of Goddard.
When he eats and that juice
Yeah.
drips down his face and he's so gross.
But there's I just think he might be the apprentice that we're talking about, because the apprentice obviously has to be older.
So good.
But all right, so look, so now basically what we have to do, is to go on to Latino Review tomorrow to find out this scoop, correct?
In the morning. By the time you guys wake up, it'll hopefully be published.
All right, guys. So make sure you go to Latino Review, and then we'll get you back on to find out what we're talking about here next week. We got to get to this. What's the pitch now? But as always, man, thank you so much for calling in, and we look forward to reading the scoop.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to definitely talk next week.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, brother.
All right. So, all right, man. There's a lot of speculation. You know, it's the same thing to where it's. Until Disney, though, I'm a speculator. It's just
this is why I don't want to speculate
anymore.
anymore.
I know, you're right.
What
You just
is
get
the
teased.
point?
All right, but let's.
Captain Kirk is coming in Star Wars.
I know who
exactly.
it is.
Let's you guys out there tweet in who you think it's going to be, what you think it's going to be. But all right, so
it's Gabourey Sidibe.
All right, no more guys. Seriously, we have 15 fucking minutes to get this thing in there.
Dad's getting mad.
I'm getting pissed off. Everyone talks over each other like asshole faces.
So you want to make it in the pictures, kid? You want to be a Hollywood big shot? Well, here's what you gotta do. You come in my office. You pitch me a story. You sell me a star. You put it all together, and you just might get a green light, which means you've got Go Picture.
All right, yeah, it is. Yeah. So Go Picture is a segment that we haven't done in a while, and so we have a film executive here. We have a TV executive here.
That's a producer.
Well, excuse me.
Yeah.
Now I'm a producer.
Someone who makes films, someone who makes TV,
I like that you
and we're gonna have one of our guys pitch. Today's pitch is going to be Mr. Ken Napzok, who. What?
Well, that's nice, but you didn't really tell me about this, so I.
Are you kidding?
You want me to make? I'm actually a screenwriter.
What is
I can
going
pull
on?
something
What's
out
the
of my.
I sent it to you.
I also have several TV shows we should talk off air. But
all right, fine.
He has an idea for a movie.
Abraham Lincoln. It doesn't matter because
in present day.
You know what? It doesn't matter.
Just on the fly.
Fine, sit back.
I'm sorry. I can't.
Josh Mcilahrgey will be taking the reins and pitching. What's the pitch? Because he did it once before. What are you making faces about?
We don't have to. We can talk about television or whatever.
I mean, listen, I got 17 pitches on my plate, but I'm not prepared for this one.
This is the worst.
Breathing down my neck like it's some kind of personal vendetta against Bobby
Just as
Finstock.
I expected.
What is that?
Bobby Finstock.
The IRS has got a personal vendetta.
Bobby Finstock.
What is that? Is someone on the phone?
Bobby Finstock.
Yes. It's Bobby Finstock. I'm not prepared, motherfuckers.
Bobby Finstock. No.
All right, let's.
This is the worst night ever.
I green light this.
Can we have stay right there, Bobby? Can we have? Let's see. Can we get Bobby? Why don't you go over near Navid and we'll
The Vow, starring
but
Tiffany and Bobby.
Bring the mic
I'm
over.
in.
Bring the mic over. Bring them over towards. All right, here he is. It's the. All right, shh. Hold on, here he is, Mr. Finstock. Get in there. That's yours.
Oh my god.
Here he is. He's approaching the mic. He's about to pitch.
Hickory dickory dock. The green light is for Bob Finstock.
All right. So we're doing what's the pitch? It's Bobby Finstock. Now it is absolutely that time where we're going to do what's the pitch, and you have Bobby. Here's how this works.
I'm pitching to DJ here.
You're pitching to Navid first.
Oh, okay.
You're going to pitch your film. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then after your film is done, then we're going to spawn it into a TV show. Then we're going to ask Navid if the film gets a green light, and then we'll ask DJ if it gets a green light on TV. All right. You have about 2 minutes to pitch.
Okay.
All right, and you got to remember.
I met you at the Latino Million Man March, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So you guys have met before. All right. That's
well,
great.
He knows I have the loyalty of a 12-year-old golden retriever and a family of 7.
Okay, I believe that. All right. I don't know what that means. All right. So here, it's 9:48. Okay. So you have 2 minutes to do this. You have to talk loud.
Okay.
You have to pitch.
Okay.
Are you ready to go? You
Sure.
excited? You have two.
Wait,
You don't
can
look
I ask
very
Tiffany
nervous.
one question?
Well, yeah, you can ask him.
Do you want to be in my fantasy football league? I have one more spot open.
You're asking Tiffany that.
Yeah.
No.
I kind of figured that.
No.
All right.
DJ, you're in.
All right. So, Bobby, you're going to pitch to Navid first. We're all going to vote here, not just, but Tiffany's going to vote too. So you got to win Tiffany over as well. So maybe you can do that.
Oh,
all
good luck.
Seems
impossible.
Here, Bobby, make sure you're in the camera. You're not in the camera there.
How do I get in the camera?
Here, come here.
Help him out. All right, here we go. There we go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So here's the pitch.
All right, I'm gonna precursor it though.
All right.
Linda Ronstadt is attached to play the mom.
That's not true.
And Shavar Ross is circling around to direct.
Is anyone?
So Shavar Ross is Dudley from Different Strokes. Is
anyone rumored at all?
Yeah, he's got a red mop bullhead.
Is anyone?
Linda Ronstadt.
All right,
I met her the other day.
Let's pitch. All right, let's pitch.
All right. Okay, it's a rom-com.
Okay, rom-com.
Okay,
all right.
Okay, so basically, it's this lady. She's living this mundane life. She has a lot of money. The husband is out of town all the time, suspected of cheating. He gets home. He's like, "What do you do with yourself?" "Nothing." "Oh yeah, yada yada yada." So she's like, "Pick up a hobby." Right? They got a ton of money, so she picks up a hobby as a cooking class. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So she starts to like fall for the guy who's giving her the stuff that she kind of wants. Yeah. So the guy has like a Paul Rudd type character or whatever the case may be. So. Yada yada yada. They finally start.
Is a movie called Yada Yada Yada?
No. Listen,
it's actually called
it's
Pump
good.
and Street.
It's good. I'm not even there yet.
Yeah.
So he has the nerve to ask her out. She's like, I can't. I'm married, but you could date my twin sister. The twin sister is her. Okay. So she gets like a little apartment in New York and starts like dating this guy on the side. But then when they go to the cooking class, they start talking about the person who he thinks is the other twin sister. They start talking and like giving like advice and things like that. So she starts doing all the stuff she's doing. She got the fat friend like a Rebel Wilson or whatever. Obviously they catch him. In the act or whatever. I mean, I wrote this already. It's a written script. So basically, she's a double personality. She doesn't like her life. She doesn't like her life. She's trying to get back.
Mm-hmm.
She winds up with the cook in the end. Hijinks ensues where she has to do like the John Ritter Three's Company episode where he's like playing his brother and fooling Mr. Furley, which isn't that hard. Little things like that.
Right.
I mean, I think it's brilliant.
That's the pitch. So, and who stars it?
Like Tina Fey. It could be a Tina Fey.
Okay.
And then Tiffany could play like the chef's apprentice or something. And I could play
I
like
thought you were going to say Tiffany's the fat friend, and I was like,
well, you could wear a fat suit.
All right, so that's your pitch.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the name of the movie called?
Split Personality.
All right, good. All right. So Split Personality is the movie. Schmoville, for why we asked the executives, what do you guys think? Is it a green light or is it a pass? At Schmoes, no.
Sandra Bullock.
Is that the name of the movie?
No, she could play it though.
Oh, okay. All right.
Called, Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock. Navid, green light or pass?
I love you.
Let me preface this.
But I'm going to pass.
Okay, you pass. Why?
Only because your protagonist is a hateful character.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you empathize with somebody like that?
Yeah, but the husband is cheating on her, and she's living a shitty life.
She's also
They could have
rich.
just not been married and dating, maybe.
Yeah. By the way, here's
Keep
the way
your
to
face
fix
in the camera.
it: is just get rid of her backstory. Maybe there's another reason why she can't date him, and but she pretends to be somebody else. I guess.
Okay, so basically, what you're saying is a pass with restrictions.
We're leaving the door open.
It's a pass with restrictions only because he knows you.
I think it's a brilliant idea.
All right, so DJ, as a television show.
Yeah, I don't know if we can sustain that week to week. I mean, it seems pretty close-ended to me.
Yeah.
But,
You might be right. Well, no, if she's playing double personalities every episode.
I mean,
let's think
hat on a hat.
about
DJ,
it.
DJ is a pass.
It's a respectful pass.
Okay.
But I'll leave the door open too.
Tiffany.
Okay, I like the door open.
No, pass.
Really? It's a super pass? Well, I'm going to
Super
write it and it's
pass.
going to get glowing reviews.
JCI?
Green light.
Green light. Okay.
Bingo.
Why?
Second part of the Mega Powers. Josh McCouga.
I don't even think you need to ask him.
That's a freaking green light for me.
Green light from John Lovitz.
Poof.
And Ken.
That's going to be a pass on me.
All right, Johnny Ice. Johnny Ice passes. Riley.
Yeah, it's a pass.
All right, it's a pass. I'm going to go ahead and pass. All right, so here
What about an inventor, a failed inventor, and the investor of the failed inventor go on a drug-induced tale of epic proportions and confuse a menage a trois for a coup d'etat?
Go picture. Go
That
picture.
one I'll green light.
I'll buy that one.
I want to start.
I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Hold on. So
Option
I want to
by
get some
life
tweets out here from Schmoeville because they're the final vote. This sounds like a soap opera. Best Bob Finstock outfit yet. It looks like Tiffany Tweets wants to puke on a platter. This is so absurd I might actually pay to see it. Darth Finstock, greenlight this immediately. Only Bob Finstock could pitch this intelligent piece of universal greatness. To quote Michael Cole, vintage, red light. Yada, 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 whatever the case may be. What the fuck is going on here? Pass on split personality. It's a green light because of Finstock. Green light from me. Pass. A menage a trois for a coup d'etat green light.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go ahead and say it looks like a pass, Bobby. You know what I thought you were going to pitch?
Hey, I'll get Kickstarter. I'll finance it myself.
All right, but you know what? I
got a lot of fans. I mean,
you do have a lot of fans here. At Bob Finstock is where you guys can follow him. Now, here's something that's very interesting as well this week. We're going to be doing Meet the Schmoes, and it's going to be Tiffany Smith this week. So make sure you go and you check Schmo Plus.
Did you know that?
What am I doing?
Well, Josh the intern shot an episode with Tiffany Smith, and we're going to be doing you just go to Schmo Plus and check that out. It'll be up after this show. And we, again, so...
You know what the crazy part is?
What?
In the opening sequence of that, if you look like far off to the right...
What's that noise?
I'm there.
Yeah. All right. All right. Listen, let me ask you a question now.
Yeah.
Why didn't you pitch a romantic comedy starring you and Tiffany Smith?
Because, I mean, I'm writing that on secretly.
Oh.
And I'm going to let her read it first.
Art imitates life.
Yeah, it's going to be something interesting. It's... well, I mean, we could do that too. I mean, it was what was that show they did? When Harry Met Sally.
All right.
It's when Tiffany met Bobby.
That's absolutely right. Guys, listen, this was a fantastic show. It was great having Danny Strong. Navid, thank you for joining us again. You can come back soon. Tiffany Smith, as always, at Tiffany's Tweets. Next week is a really fun show. We have Zach Levi, who's going to be calling in. Also, Greg Benson from Mediocre Films. Big YouTube channel. He's coming in next week. And I think, this is not confirmed, there's a possibility that Katie Sackhoff will be joining us next week to talk about Riddick. She's just really busy.
She's shooting them along there right now, right?
They're done. They're done. Yes. So she's back in town. She said it's either going to be the 22nd or possibly the 5th, right before Riddick comes out. She's busy, but she's going to try to come back. And then make sure that we talked about the Napzok Files with Josh McCouga in the beginning of the show. If you want to hear that episode. The hell was that? If you want to hear that episode, then you can just listen right after this show. And you can hear that whole episode and listen to Josh McCouga on the Napzok Files. All right, guys. So for the Schmoes Know podcast, Bob Finstock, the craziest person in Schmoeville. Big time. Ken Napzok, Josh the intern, the whole crew. Make sure you check Schmo Plus for the episode with Tiffany Smith coming out right after this. And we will see you soon.
Thanks for having me, bud.
Of course, DJ Goldberg, of course, from McGee's Wonderland. Thank you for joining us, buddy. You'll be back soon.
The DJ.
Yeah, put on those cans, Mcilahrgey. And we will talk to you soon. Peace out, Mother Fs.
Take a ride on the West Coast Kid.